Hello, in this short presentation we're going to look at some of the inspirational spaces that we intend to use as part of the Inspire module. And the key thing about this presentation is that it explains how we are exploiting the affordances of three types of physical and online space. And this relies upon the work of Garrison and Vaughan, who have done lots of work around the notion of blended provision, looking at the kinds of spaces that online students need in order to succeed and enjoy their learning experience. And they categorise these into three main types: teaching spaces, cognitive spaces, social spaces. So spaces in which to find things out from tutors, spaces in which to think and formulate and reflect, and spaces in which to network. And what their study found was that the typical way in which we deliver online provision focuses largely on the teaching and cognitive and often somewhat neglects the social space. So if we were thinking about the face-to-face traditional teaching and learning environment, the sorts of environments in which we might find these kinds of spaces include classrooms and lecture theatres for teaching, one's own office or study for cognitive work, for reflecting, for formulating, for completing assignments, and maybe a common room, a staff room, a coffee room in which to socialise and make links with other people on the same course as us. So when we began to think about how to formulate this in an online environment, what we've done is to choose the environments that we think best suit these purposes. So for the teaching space, we're going to use Yuni Learn. For your individual cognitive space, we're going to give you a Google site that you can edit yourself. And as a social space, we're going to exploit Yammer. So what do these spaces look like? Well, you're likely to be already familiar with Yuni Learn, with the menu items down the left-hand side, with the fact that it tends to be created in a very stable way by the tutor, where you can retrieve information like module documents, like writing frames, and so on. So it's great for that particular kind of delivery as a teaching environment. Google Sites you may not be familiar with. Here's a quick screenshot of what your Google site will look like. You'll notice that there are edit buttons at the top, and you will find these on each of the pages within your site so that you can go into them, you can add books to your bookshelf, journal articles and so on. You can blog about your experiences, you can track your diary, you can upload your written assignments and so on. So a great place to kind of formulate and host your own ideas, and you can share that with other individuals if you want to at the time of your own choosing and page by page, so you have complete control and autonomy over how much of that you share. Yammer, again, you may be familiar with this already. If not, it may look familiar in terms of the fact that it's very similar to Facebook. It has profile pictures, it has profile pages, you can post status updates, you can like people's posts, you can reply to them, follow them, and so on. So great for informal sharing. So why have we chosen these different platforms to use? Well, what we're hoping to do here is exploit the strengths of each. So Yuni Learn is great as a site for clear didactic input, for the presentation of information, perhaps for some limited discussion, but it's not a particularly good social environment. It doesn't feel very human or engaging or very vibrant, but it's very good during a module for you to be able to retrieve information. Google Sites is excellent for formulating your own ideas, creating your own work, selectively sharing content before, during and after the module. So it's very sustainable, and we think that's one of its key strengths over and above what Yuni Learn can offer. And Yammer is great for networking, for socialising, for informal checking and sharing, and again great before, during and after the module. So what we're seeking to do is provide you with the opportunity to formulate your own blend here, to clearly navigate from one site to the other as and when your needs require, and to create your own blend, your own experience, and to learn about these different sites and the way in which they work. So the benefits we hope will accrue are clarity from Yuni Learn, autonomy and personal control and development of digital literacy from Google Sites, with the potential to market great sites that are really excellent for lots of different purposes, and for Yammer, participative culture and dissemination of expertise.